talking all about email marketing, and how to clean your list. You see, it's been drummed into you since day 0 that you've got to build your list. So you built your list, and it feels really good when you build your list. The problem is, lists over time grow and grow and grow, and they can get a bit out of control if you don't do your email list hygiene. And a lot of people don't. It's one of those jobs that they sort of push to the back of their mind and think, oh, it'll be all right, we don't need to do it, until it gets so out of control that you have to get somebody to come along, clean your list. So today we're going to talk about why you need to clean your list and how to clean your list. Okay, so let's dive in to start off with. So, big numbers on your email list. Some people have like 40,000, 50,000, 100,000 people on your email list. But basically, they can just be vanity metrics. It's a bit like people who say, oh, I've done this amount of sales in turnover. But it's profit at the end of the day that counts, not your turnover. It's all about the profit. So the same with email. The size of your list, if it's not engaged, is irrelevant. It's like having a massive Facebook group with thousands of people in it, but they're not engaged. It's better to have a smaller Facebook group with a smaller group of engaged people. So that's the same as your list. We want it to be engaged. We want to keep it clean. We want to keep it as clean, like Mr. Muscle cleans his oven. Okay, so first thing you've got to do is benchmark where you currently are before we start cleaning up. So at least we can start tracking what we're going to do. Okay, so you need to map out the ideal plan of what you want your list, your email marketing to look like. So people opt in here, then they get added to this list, they get tagged here, they download this, then they go into this email sequence, then they get tagged with this. If they click this, they get tagged with this. You need to map all of that out before you get started, really, so you know exactly what you want the finished clean list to look like. So make yourself a spreadsheet, and you want to list all of your email lists that you currently have. You want to list all of the tags that you're currently using, and you want to list all of the automations that you've got currently set up. Now, this can be quite a task depending how long you've been working on your list and how long you haven't touched it in cleaning it up. But it's vitally important that we do this. Then you need to go through each of the lists and see which ones are redundant. They might be lists that people opted in to do a challenge. There might be an old webinar. It might have been an old promotion, which they're not relevant anymore. So can you consolidate these lists, or are they to be removed? Excuse me. I'm still recovering from a bad throat. So look at all the lists, what can be consolidated, what can be removed, and then have your master list, which everybody should be on, for your nurture list. So you might call it your long-term nurture list, you might call it your weekly newsletter list, whatever you call it, make sure everybody is on that. Then you got to look at your tags. Tags are amazing, and so many people don't use tags to the best possible use. Now, list out all the tags that you've got and have a look which ones are being used. Are they being used effectively? Are they named effectively? And work through all of the tags. Which ones can be deleted? And then, if you haven't already, create your own naming convention for your tags. So go through and rename all your tags and make sure you know what tag does what and what triggers what. So you're going to put all that on your spreadsheet. Now, if you're using tags effectively and correctly, you don't need to have multiple lists. You can just use tags. There shouldn't be anybody in your CRM, your email marketing system, without a tag. Now, I always like to have at least 3 tags for every person that comes into the system. I like to have one tag that tells me if they are a lead. So they could be a cold lead, a warm lead, or a hot lead. It will tell me, are they, or it could just be a prospect and a client. But we need to know where in the system they are, where on the customer journey. So that's one tag. Second tag I like is either product that they've purchased tag or product that they're interested in, or if they've just downloaded a lead magnet, the name of the lead magnet that they downloaded. So those are those two tags. And then the third tag, which I like to use, now it depends. If you only have one type of client, one type of customer avatar, then you might not necessarily need this. But many people they might sell one product or one service, but they can have different types of people that buy that. So you want to segment your lists based on the type of person. So your customer avatar profile, your ideal client, tag them as that. So it might be women 30 to 35, and you've got a name for that person in your customer avatar, you tag it with that. Or it might be men 50 to 56, whatever. Just make sure your customer avatars are tagged. So, and the reason for that is when you're sending out emails to your list, you can't send the same email to all the different avatars because it's not going to resonate with them. So that's why you need to know which people are which avatars so you can send them the relevant emails that match who they are. And if you're not doing that, you can't do that. Then you've got your automations. So list out all the automations, turn off any of the ones that are not in use anymore. Which ones do you need? And if you don't need them, or if they're irrelevant, or you've got multiple ones of the same one which you've used over and over, then delete them and just keep the one that you can just use as a template. Then the next thing we need to look at is unsubscribes. Now, your email marketing software, I use ActiveCampaign. You should be able to go in and have a look how many people have unsubscribed to a certain list. So you can look at all the different lists and see who have unsubscribed. If they've unsubscribed from your main list, then delete them. You do not need them on your list anymore. If they don't want to be there, if they don't want to receive your emails, then I like to be ruthless and just delete them. Why have people on your list that you're paying for that have unsubscribed? They don't want your information anymore. So delete them. Then you've got all your bounce emails. Now, go through and find out how many emails have bounced, because a lot of people might put a fake email if they just want a lead magnet. Or sometimes people do misspell things. So you can have a look sometimes and they might have put Gmail wrong, or they might have put .co instead of .com or something like that. So sometimes you can figure out the spelling error, but sometimes they are just fake emails and that's why they've bounced. So remove all of those as well. It's vitally important that we keep a healthy email list that's engaged. And if we've got a lot of unsubscribes, we've got a lot of bounced emails, it's not going to be good on the deliverability. So we want a high deliverability. We don't want the emails going in the spam. And that's what happens when you've got a big list, you've got a lot of unsubscribes, you've got a lot of bounces, and people aren't opening them. They go to spam. So that's why we want to clean it up. Better the open rate. Obviously, the better the click-through rate is going to be. But open rates are not very accurate anymore. Since the last Apple update, softwares can't actually tell if people are opening the emails or not. So it has been reported that email open rates have gone up, but actually it's just because the software can't tell if it's been opened or not. So it's not a metric that you should be tracking. You track it, but it's not a KPI that you should monitor. It's all about the click-through rate. So an ideal click-through rate, you want average is between 2 and 3%. So that is what you want to aim for. If you've got less than 2% on your click-through rate, then you need to look at your email copy. But on the open rates, we need to look at 30% open rate. If it's below 30%, then that is something you need to look at, and you can split test your subject lines. So I suggest you send it out. People don't open it. You send it again with a different subject line to the people who didn't open it. And that will increase your click-through rates. The more people who open it, your email software is going to go, oh yeah, this is good. People are opening it. People are clicking through. It won't go to spam. Also, if you get people to say, reply to this email, move me to your inbox, that is better for your email open rate as well. So keeping your list clean is vitally important. If you have, like I said, high bounces and high unopens, high unsubscribes, and a lot of people reporting you as spam, it is not good for your deliverability. Also, make sure that you set up your email service with your SMTP. You don't want it to say, for example, if you use an active campaign, sent on behalf of. You want to make sure it comes from your email address, so that you need to change that in your DNS settings, depending where your software is. So as we said before, we want to get rid of everybody who doesn't want to be on the list. So I like to just send an email out to everybody saying, we're cleaning the list. Do you want to stay or do you want to go? If they don't reply within so many days, remove them. Or they've removed themselves already. And then everybody who does reply, keep them, and that's your engaged list. So how often should you clean your email list? Well, ideally, it should be a continuous thing that is done all the time. And you might be thinking, well, I haven't got time for that. Nobody has. So what you do is you need to set up an automation that actually does it for you all the time. So it's tagging people who are engaged. It's tagging people who click on something. It tags people who open something. It tags people when they don't open it. It tags people when they haven't opened anything for a certain amount of time. And it puts them in these different buckets. And when they've stayed in these buckets for certain amounts of times, it will automatically send them to the list that says, this person is not interested. Then we can email those people and go, we see you haven't opened an email for a very, very long time. Do you want to stay on the list? If they reply, yes, great. If they don't reply or they don't open it, they're gone. Remove, delete, hit that delete button. I know sometimes it can be super scary to hit the delete button because it pops up with this box saying, are you sure you want to delete this person? Once you have deleted this person, they are gone forever and you cannot get them back. Just do it. It's like having a pair of jeans at the back of your cupboard that you used to be able to fit into, but they don't really fit anymore. And you really want to get back into them, but you can't. It's a bit like that. You're saving them because you don't want to throw them out, but you know you have to throw them out. So it's the same. Delete them, get rid of them, move on. It's not personal. You need to keep your list engaged and you don't want these people who are not interested. So just delete, delete, delete. Keep it clean, keep it engaged, and your open rates will increase. Your click-through rates will increase. And therefore, when you're sending out a promotion, that will increase as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video all about cleaning your list. Hit the like button if you did. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips, tricks, all about funnels, automations, and chatbots. Oh, and I also put together a quick little checklist for you on how to clean your list. And as a bonus, I've got the template of the email that I send out when we're cleaning the list, asking people if they want to stay or if they want to go. It's a bit more complex than that. It's not a one-liner, though that would work. Anyway, so you'll get the free checklist and you'll get a copy of the email template to send out to the list. All you have to do to get a copy is head over onto our Instagram. That is 5-Step Funnels. That's the number 5-Step Funnels on Instagram. Click send message. Send us a message with the word clean, 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 and we will send you that for free. Simple as that. It does tell you how to do it down in the comments. And if you like this video, please leave me a comment. Okay, catch you later.